movie Empire Strikes Back how Yoda was making Luke that stew? Well, I have found a way to recreate it, but with earth ingredients, so not like weird reptiles or anything, don't worry. But it's super simple and really, really tasty, even though it looks almost exactly like it. This is Yoda's stew. So we're gonna add in our ingredients now. 2 large chicken breasts, herbs, carrots, just get those in there, celery, onions, and now potatoes. Yum! I love potatoes. Now for our chicken stock. We want to add that in last, otherwise everything's going to splash. And now our bouillon cube. Now we're just going to put a lid on it and your crock pot, and you just turn it on high for 4 hours and you're ready to go. Now that our stew is done, we're just going to make a roux to thicken it and darken the color a little bit so that it's the consistency and color of the stew in the movie. So 6 tablespoons of butter. You just want it to completely melt and keep it moving so it doesn't burn. But see, it's already getting a darker color, which is exactly what we want. Now I'm going to add my flour in. Mix it together. Now you want a long-handled spoon because it gets really hot. You don't want your hand to get burnt. Okay, so now it's ready for us to add in 1 cup of milk. Now that it's the correct color, because you don't want it to be too light, otherwise it won't have the correct color. See, it's nice and thick now, which is going to thicken up our stew. Very thick. Okay, so I'm going to put our roux in the crock pot. Okay, I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to mix this. Oh yeah, that is looking and smelling amazing. Now use the force. That back on. And I'm going to put it in this when our Geek of Honor gets here. So it looks like Yoda's. Our Geek of Honor. My Uncle John. This is our Dagobah or Yoda's stew. I'm going to dish that up for you to try. So, Uncle John, what was your first thought of Star Wars the first time you saw it?
I was 17 when Star Wars came out, and I had big, long, flowing blonde hair, and with the excitement of the whole show, I saw it with my best friend Bob, and I believed I was Luke Skywalker for 10 minutes at least, for sure. And it was a blast. We were so pumped up. We drove out of there like crazy maniacs, and we saw it at the drive-in. You guys don't know what that is, but it was a theater where you could drive your car in and watch.
Okay, so here's your Yoda stew.
All right.
Do you want a cracker to crumble on top of it like Luke does in the movie? He crumbles something on top of it.
Yes, I do, and I'm not afraid of it. The only thing is it looks like Yoda stew. Did you guys get a good shot of that? All right, here we go.
Good for you. Good food. Good food.
That is good food. That's very good.
Yeah. I'm so glad you didn't make the face that Luke did when he first tried it with the...
I don't think his tasted as good as this. I think his looked like it was made out of lizards and greens.
Well, that would make sense.
I thought you were going to say this is.
Okay, so now we're going to make some blue milk from the first episode, or episode 4 of Star Wars, where Luke drinks his blue milk. You actually see him pour blue milk to drink when he's with his aunt and uncle. So we're going to use 2 cups of milk. And now we are going to use 4 tablespoons of vanilla creamer. It's so cool. It's 2 tablespoons per cup, depending on how much you want to make.
So this is adding the sweetness to your blue milk.
You'd think it'd be sweet, but it just changes the flavor just enough so it tastes like a milk, but not necessarily cow milk.
Oh, interesting. Because it's probably not cow milk on Tatooine.
No, in fact, I was going to bring in our animal expert, Sloan, to talk about what animal might the blue milk come from.
Hi, I'm Sloan, and this little guy is Squirt. He's an Eope, a native beast of burden on Tatooine, and the same species that blue milk comes from. Is that good?
Okay, so I find that the best blue color for blue milk is the neon blue dye, and it's 2 drops per cup. There we go. I'm just going to mix this all together.
Wow, that's really blue. That looks just like it.
Okay, now I'm going to pour this into our cups.
Thank you.
Have a little extra.
All right, little toast to Luke's return.
To Luke's return.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. Just like Aunt Beru used to make.
So we talked about your first time seeing Star Wars, but what did you think of the new movie? No spoilers, but what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that episodes 4, 5, and 6 had a certain feel, and then episodes 1, 2, and 3 had a different feel, although it was telling the story from a different time.
I actually don't believe in episodes 1, 2, and 3. They don't exist.
They don't. They do exist because
don't
Obi-Wan
exist.
was so good in that. When you saw how good he could
don't
fight and
exist.
oh yeah, they do. They're just way long ago. And then, but this one feels more like the original.
Yes.
Even to the point of less computer generated graphics. You know, a lot more.
That was
like,
nice that they balanced them out.
yeah, they call those in-camera visuals, which is like puppets and puppeteers and things that have a soul
had a
and it
real
feels
feel.
right. Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, so I really liked it. It was good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop us now because if I don't, then we're probably gonna give something really big away. So before you go, I just want to say thank you, and we wanted to give you this to say thank you for being our Geek of Honor.
Oh, thank you. Wow, blue milk, and I get to go to the movies and see it again. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be your geek.
Thank you. So now we're going to be making Rey's portions from Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. That was such a good movie. So not to spoil anything, but in the movie, Rey receives portions and she eats them, and it's like bread, and it's really cool looking. And so I'm going to measure out 2 cups of flour with my R2D2 measuring cups and spoon set, which is amazing. So I'm going to measure out 2 cups of self-rising flour. It's a little hard to scoop here. I'm just going to level it off with the back of a knife. It's really easy to do, and there we have it. That's 1 cup. So there's our all-purpose flour. Now I'm going to put in our freshly chopped thyme and rosemary. Now for our salt. And 4 teaspoons of sage. The sage is what gives it the kind of greenish color that it has in the movie. Now finally, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, because without that it won't rise. Okay, so now I'm just gonna mix all my dry ingredients together, just kind of mix it. And then we're gonna make a little well in the center. Now I'm gonna slowly pour in a cup of buttermilk. Just gonna mix that in, mix it in. Okay, just gonna wipe off my spoon. Get in there with our fingers. This is the fun part. So now that we kind of have it to this good consistency and it's kind of a ball shape, we're gonna put some flour down on the counter and we're gonna knead it by hand on the surface of your choice. So we're gonna put some flour down. Is that good? Good? Good. Okay, and it's only needed for about 10 strokes, that we're gonna divide it into 3 and we're gonna put it in our little pans that you can get at a craft store. So I'm just gonna get these out of the way and I'm gonna spray some nonstick spray in our pan. And now we want to shape these like balls so that it comes out like the shape that Rey's had in the movie. We're gonna put them each in their own little pan, their own little home. They're just gonna fit in there, all nice and cozy, kind of round shaped. So I'm gonna put these in the oven at about 450 degrees for about 20 minutes. Oh, it's just about done. It smells so good. It looks perfect. Now we're gonna quickly brush butter right on top of it. Now that it's fresh out of the oven. Oh, that smells so good. So now I plated it up like Rey had it, and I'm gonna taste it. It looks and smells delicious. That is so good.